That might do it. I don't know why we have that over there. That might be something new. But let me check my phone real quick and see if we up and running. I think we are. Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Talk Williams, hosting Creator What? Hip Hop 50th. I don't know if you can hear me. I don't even know if you can see me, but I'm right here. What's good with you? I am going to do a quick sound check right here, and I'm going to text the big homie Billy T, and if he's up, he can join my live. Let me see something here. Let me jump here real quick. Oh no, that's another live. That's not the one I'm currently on. So let me get myself together. Here we go. All right, I got some sound. Damn. Yeah, I got some sound. Y'all gonna hear some feedback, but I apologize for that. Let me copy the link and shut me up and text it to, in case my homeboy up, he can join. If not, that's cool. He'll check it out tomorrow, something like that. But anyway, I want to say what's up to everybody. Good evening. I know it's late. Y'all know how I get down sometime. It don't make sense. It ain't no schedule. But again, it's your boy Talk Williams right here somewhere. And I just want to say, what up? Now, what we're going to get into this evening, you see the name of the live. And it almost seems like this name of this live should be held 3 o'clock in the afternoon, if not 10 o'clock in the morning. Makes sense, right? Absolutely, it should. Unfortunately, it's almost 10:30 Chicago time, and that's just what it is. I'm fresh off of eating some good protein, which was a smoked, I'm going to call it a smoked salmon. It was delicious, but it was actually roasted. It really wasn't smoked. And it was with some basil fried rice I got from a place called Ito's, and it was delicious, man. I didn't even eat all of it. The other thing is this, guys. OpenAI, ChatGPT, yeah, Sam Altman, yeah, that wonderful app that's in everybody's house today. Billions of people. I don't know. I think we got 6, 7, or 8 billion people on the planet. 4 billion of them, or a bunch of them, in every developed nation got ChatGPT. That's right, got ChatGPT. And guess what? All of the fiddling and diddling and schooling and all of that, we know this. And did you know how to do that? It's been wonderful. It's been great. And now OpenAI has an academy. Yeah, the OpenAI Academy. That's what it's called. If you look at this little, down here under me, let me make it, well, I can't make it bigger. But down there under me, it says OpenAI Academy, and it's me holding a cell phone or really some type of small camera, and I'm looking at the robot because I am the AI apologist. Yeah, I'm the AI apologist. Anyway, what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to just demonstrate what you guys probably already know, but to the newbies, and if you see this another time and you want to share it with somebody, and you have people in your family, your friends or others that they want a more structured, a more formal, some more guidance about how do you use it, because I can't keep up with everybody using it differently, telling me all you got to do is this and all you got to do is that. So if you want to add a little structure, if you want some introduction, if you're the type of person that, you know what, I'm a little more disciplined, I'm a little more orderly, I kind of stayed away from ChatGPT, I know I got to get with the program, how can I come in? It's wonderful. OpenAI actually has an academy, and you can register, it's free, and you can participate, watch the live streams, download resources, use their tools, and get a little more fluent, competent, and literate with the LLMs, the large language models, the chat bots, the chat GPT. Because that's what a lot of this is about for me, especially when it comes to you, your job, your career, where you going, okay? No, this isn't going to land you the $200,000 a year job. No. This is about awareness, meaning what is it? Some literacy, learning, getting some knowledge about it, and some adoption, identifying a use case or some utility. For those people who are knowledge workers, who perform different tasks every day, whether it's in a corporate office, whether it's at your church, whether it's in your own business. This is about you empowering yourself. Augmentation, augment, AUGMENT. I spell it not because you guys don't know what it means. I spell it because the way that I talk sometimes and can't pronounce words, it just sounds like I'm making it up or the word just don't exist. Augment, augmentation, to improve, to make better. So that's what this is all about. But before I go any further, before I even touch down on that, real quick, I didn't mean that because I was clicking, and so I said real quick. But before I go any further, what I do want to share with you guys is audio. I know I shared this with you guys the other night, but if you want to generate some audio with vocals to the style and beat that you want it to create or write some lyrics for you, or you want to provide the lyrics, you can do that. I've officially created 2 virtual or generative artists, one male and one female. I've officially named what my generative artist or the record label I'm going to be using for it. It's called HITL, HITL. It's an acronym for Human in the Loop. So you hear that term, but I'm using it as my record label for my generative artists, and I'm using it for the music that they have produced. So I'm going to play this song, this video, this track for y'all before we get into the OpenAI Academy. And what I'm saying to you guys is everything you see and hear did not exist prior to it being generated, which means it's mine. I own the content. There's no producer that can claim it. There's no copyright match or property or IP or any of that coming from UAW or any of these tools and technologies they use to do digital match or fingerprinting when somebody is using somebody else's artist, voice, or NIL, name, image, or likeness, and the rest. That's just what it is. It's so dope. I'm just going to play one of my tracks to my record label, HITL Records, HITL. Check this out. Up top, you see Udio. You see the band, it says Udio. It's spelled like studio without the S and the T. I'm just going to play one of them. I'm geeked up about it. I really am. And then after that, I'll go right into the OpenAI Academy, and we can touch there. But hey, I might as well spread the love about a project that I've just begun and that it's going to become something a little bigger. Check this out. Let me move out the way. Yeah, let me just move out the way and let you guys see this here. Here we go. Again, guys, it's your boy Talk Williams, founder, creator, Hip Hop 50th, the YouTube channel / podcast. And here's one of my generative artists, and everything you see is mine. And here we go.
Yeah, you know it's the supreme. You got the spin lines, but it lacking the soul. Trying to imitate with the money can't feel the flow. It predict mimics, it copies the style, but creation is S. It come from the trials. I've been in ciphers where sparks ignite. Off the dome, freestyler, creative mind. AI's ambush, slow buried deep, but I never had a dream that kept it from sleep. AI can't get to innovate. It can't feel struggle at the side of space. Creativity's a spark that eternal flame. Machines replicate, but they can't create. You see art ain't data, it's pain and joy. It's secure with no toys, slam beats and noise. It's graffiti on trains, it's a poem in the park. It's a shivering that can't hear, seem cost. Yeah, that's king, can machines create? They simulate. When I call it culture, the soul art. That's human from the heart. AI can paint, AI can rhyme, but it's tracking is dead. It recycle in time, it don't train, don't bleed, don't cry in the night, it don't risk it with doubt just to find what's right. Creativity, struggle, it's risk, it's pain. It's losing everything, but still playing the game. It's a kid in the basement with a mic and a tape, turning hardship and hunger into something great. AI imitate, but it can't originate. It remix the past, but it can't innovate. Creativity, the spark that's so unseen. Knowledge reigns supreme, human reigns supreme. Look. Yeah. I drop jewels in them on, you can feel the past. Your outfit's predictable, my vision's vast. LLMs generate, but they never originate. I meditate, innovate, lines that elevate. See a jab, I reply, but I improvise. But universes and verses right for your eyes. Creativity's divine, can be strained to loop. Cause the pain, the truth, the sucker, the group. I read in real time, no code in my veins. I channel galaxies, thoughts filled in my brain. You a data set, echo remix of the past. But my craft's original, designed to last. LLMs got scale, they similar and soaring. Come with shit, slow girl, when see my floor. Stars streaming, unit of bass, time and soaring. Play that in the verse, I sing your chorus like.
LLMs talk, but they just replay. Chatbots mimic what the data say. Rags retrieve, tags form the scene, but the human mind spark is the code supreme.
Yo, thoughts push patterns, but the soul push art. Machines chase context, I write from the heart. Neural net trained on a library vast, but I rhyme from the future, not echoes of past. Algorithms align, programmers grow. Agree anything divine, machines can't know. They predict the next token, it's a single stream.
Guys, did y'all hear that? I mean, seriously. I mean, I know I don't have a concert coming up, but what I'm getting at is, did you hear that? Everything that you heard, the vocals, it's all AI. It's all not just AI, it's all generative AI, meaning it was generated, meaning it did not exist. That's why I've been running it on YouTube and other platforms and not getting the copyright strike. I've been running it on other platforms and I ain't been getting a pop-up notice saying, hey, you gotta end this live stream right now or we're gonna end it for you. None of that. None of it. That was put together. I'll give it to you. I'm gonna give you all of the apps I used in that. All of them. Here it goes. You ready? Here it goes. I went to ChatGPT. All right. Let's just start with ChatGPT. I'm not even gonna stunt. I go to OpenAI's ChatGPT. I say, look, create me a hip hop song, and I want a chorus line in it. I want the hip hop song to be based on AI and its use, and I want it to be in the style of legendary hip-hop artist KRS-One. Now I'm telling you exactly what I told what I told OpenAI. And then ChatGPT, it did it. I got like 3 or 4 16 bars or whatever. No, there was 8 bars or whatever, and then the chorus, and there we go. I had 3 or 4 verses, right? Okay. I grabbed that, copy it, paste it in the Udio. Udio is a new sound AI music generator, and Suno, Suno AI, it already existed. So Udio, which is studio without the ST, is what I use. It's the newcomer on the block. So if you guys are familiar with music generators, music generators, you might be familiar with Suno, and they probably do it a little better. I just started using Udio because I thought that Udio would take advantage of the lessons learned, maybe some of the technical shortcomings of Suno. So that's why I used the Udio. That's what's up top. So I put the lyrics in there. The style or the vocals was under a hip-hop genre that you can choose in Udio, okay? Originally, I did it in 32 seconds. And after I did the cut in 32 seconds, and it was kind of the speed and the style and that feel that was like acceptable, right? Like I'm some type of AR or audio file, like I can really identify talent and hear and all that, which I can't. I'm just stunting, but I'm just using it, right? And, oh yeah, one more thing. I was off of a fresh bowl of cereal. Like I had the original cornflakes where I had to put the sugar on it myself. So it was dope. Like, and it wasn't soggy. And I used whole milk. You know, the milk that come with the red cap. I ain't used 2%. So I'm just telling you, when I went in, I was fresh off a bowl of that cereal. And I had like 2 cinnamon roasted Pop-Tarts on standby. But here go the deal. So that's the lyrics in Udio. Then I chose the style and the vocals in Udio. I did one verse first, 32 seconds, added a couple more, and I think I came up with about a minute and 38 seconds or 2 minutes and 10 seconds or whatever. Plenty. Then I went over to motion array. Motion array is where I was able to get some generative or some AI footage. So a lot of that footage you saw in there, I got from motion array. So once I exported the audio as I wanted it in the MP3 format as well as a wave, I opened up CapCut. You know, CapCut is owned by the company ByteDance. ByteDance is the company that owns TikTok. And just to segue away from that a little bit, they asked President Trump when he was on his way to Britain today, he was about to board the helicopter to take him to the airport. They asked him, was they going to extend the so-called ban or deadline on TikTok? And President Trump says, yeah, they're extending it. He's going to meet with the Chinese about it, or there's going to be some deal, and some of the big tech companies, they're going to get together and buy it or whatever. Bottom line is they're extending it, right? And he says that he don't want to disappoint the parents and all the kids and the value involved with it. He's just trying to get them to sell some version of TikTok to the United States. But I'm not here nor there. That's not why I'm talking about that. What I'm saying is if you use CapCut, it's owned by the company ByteDance, who owns TikTok. So that's just good news that they're extending TikTok, because if they cut TikTok off, CapCut is dead. So anyway, I use CapCut to mash everything up together. Imported the sound into CapCut. Imported the AI videos I got from Motion Array into CapCut. Imported, no, that's it, the sound, the video, and then in CapCut you can create text. You can, brighten up the screen. You can slow it down. You can stretch it out. You mash it up. You can put together what you already got. And then I exported it, and that's what you see. And what I'm saying to you is, that's some dope shit. It's just some dope shit. I'll get to what I'm going to do with it later on. But the reason why I call it HITL Records, I want to keep everything AI. And HITL, the acronym, HITL, stands for Human in the Loop. But before I go and get on the AI Academy, and I know you like, please, let's get to the OpenAI Academy. I apologize. But as we go over to that, I want to play this other hit. Yeah, play this other hit. This is all AI. All AI. That's all this is. Let's see if we can get it up, though. Where is it? The second track. Might that be it? Yeah, this might be the second track right here. Here we go.
I draw jewels like circuits, this is why I tight. Algorithms very quick, saving jobs overnight. Management smiling and cutting over costs. The workforce grinding the paycheck loss. I analyze patterns, get shift in demand. Machines clock in, no sweat on their hand. From the factory floor, the newsroom, VAI. Spitting copy clean, that is obsolete. AI taking your job. Better settle, stay sharp. AI's taking your job. Gotta hustle, play smart. AI taking your job. Don't get left in the dark. AI's taking your job. Time to build, leave a mark. Let's count on the service, used to need 25. Now I chat by replies and keeps the line alive. Truckers riding solo with the wheel in their hand. Autonomous control, running routes through the land. Knockers double check scans, machines catch what they miss. Diggle pre-structured fast and parallel assist. It's a paradigm shift, tech revolution evolve. Every job is routine is a problem. It's all guys taking your job. Better simple, stay sharp. AI's taking your job. Gotta hustle, play smart. AI taking your job. Don't get left in the dark. AI taking your job. Time to build, leave a mark. Repeat the lesson inside, don't just feel the device. Just the tool in your cipher can enhance your life. Creativity reigns, that's the human domain. Innovation with soul, machines can't explain. So train your brain, then they keep your context tight. Proposition engineering, future right. Jobs fade, the roles rise, transformation of play. Knowledge reigns, the crane is the right. Get your job. Better step up, stay sharp. AI taking your job. Gotta hustle, play smart. AI taking your job. Don't get left in the dark. AI taking your job. Time to build, leave a mark.
Okay, that's it. I'm done with my records. I just wanted to share that with you guys. That's all. Okay? So let's jump over to it. There is some frightening things happening. Okay? They are. There's just some scary stuff going around in the world with AI, opportunities for new college graduates. And then just as recent as 7 days ago, there was actually a report in the news about the report card for kids. Let me see, where am I? Yeah, the report cards for kids. And it's not good. In fact, you see my man up top. I think this guy above me has the dopest name in news media. I mean, he has the most appropriate, dopest name in news media. This is Wolf Blitzer. Do you hear me? CNN's Wolf Blitzer. Every time he comes on and he says, it's breaking news, it's your boy CNN Wolf Blitzer. I mean, it's just dope. But anyway, he says some scary stuff or some things that should get our attention. And this is not even about the college graduates. This is about high school kids and their ratings in terms of education. Let's check it out.
A shocking report on America's children. High school students are now falling behind in both math and reading. And the trend is part of a very troubling, ongoing, years-long academic decline. The data comes from the National Assessment of Education Progress, which is a federal standardized test. Last year's reading score was the lowest in the history of the assessment. In math, scoring was the lowest in some 20 years. For all the latest, we're joined now by CNN Chief Data Analyst Harry Enton. Harry, can you unpack these very troubling findings for us?
Yeah, okay, Wolf. And yes, they are extremely troubling. And we will start off with reading. Okay, 12th graders scoring at least basic. This is just at least partial knowledge. We're not even talking about proficient here, and we're certainly not talking about advanced. We're just talking about at least basic. And let's start with reading. I mean, you know, you go back. In 2013, it was 74%. 2015, 72%. 2019, 70%. Now we're talking 67%. And so what I think is so important to point out is a lot of people might say, oh, it was COVID. COVID is causing these declines. Look, it might have exacerbated the trend line, but this trend line of going downward dates back all the way to the middle of the last decade, long before COVID actually hit the United States back in 2020. And when we're talking here about reading and 67% who scored at least basic, keep in mind that the proficient number is about half this level, and the advanced number is only about 5% of those 12th graders are scoring advanced on this. So we're just talking at least basic, and this trend line, extremely troubling. Only two-thirds of 12th graders scored at least basic on reading. Now, of course, we're not just talking reading here, Wolf. We're talking about mathematics as well, and the scores are even lower. What are we talking about here? 12th graders scored at least basic on math. Again, it's the same trend line that we saw in reading. And again, this is just at least basic. 65% in 2013, 62% in 2025, 59% in 2019, and then we get 55%. The bottom has fallen out here in mathematics. And of course, what's so important to note here, 55%, what does that mean? That means, get this, about 45% can't even score at least basic in reading. Oh my God, nearly half of 12th graders, seniors in the United States of America, are basically failing when it comes to simple mathematics, Wolf. This is scary stuff.
Very scary. Was this drop-off, Harry, just limited to high school seniors?
Yeah, okay, so we've been talking about high schoolers, right? We spoke about high schoolers when it comes to math. We spoke about high schoolers when it came to reading. But they also tested 8th graders, those who were going into high school, and they tested them on science. And look here, 8th graders scoring at least basic on science. It's the exact same trend, and on a different subject. In 2015, 68%. 2019, 67%. And now we're talking about 62% only at least scoring basic, just 62% on science. Again, the inverse of that is we're talking about nearly 2 in 5 of those who have graduated middle school, Wolf, who have graduated middle school, who can't even score at least basic on science. My goodness gracious. So mathematics, reading, and science, 8th graders and 12th graders, we are seeing clear declines on just basic levels. And again, on advanced levels, we're really only talking about a third across the board. And when we're talking about, proficient levels and advanced levels, we're only talking about 5%. So the bottom line is, when it comes to education, we're heading in the wrong direction. Hopefully, we're able to figure something out, because soon enough, if you can't read, you can't write, you can't do science, it's not a whole heck of a lot you can do with your life.
Yeah, it's so...
The latest version of the nation's report card shows America's high school seniors have the worst math and reading scores in more than 2 decades. And the first data since 2019 also shows 8th graders falling further behind in science. Elaine Quijano looks at the message for students, parents, and educators.
The new test scores from the National Assessment of Educational Progress show only 35% of 12th graders are proficient in reading, the lowest in testing history dating back to 1992. Just 22% were proficient in math, and 31% of 8th graders meet the proficiency in science.
Our nation's report card is abysmal right now.
Jeannie Allen runs the Center for Education Reform.
States have to give power to parents and to local educators and to entrepreneurs who want to start the kinds of programs in schools that we see are working across the board. We do not change the landscape. We do not change the results.
Comp Sci High School in New York City is defying the nationwide downward trend in test scores. David Noah heads up the charter school.
How much do you think the use of cell phones, computers, has affected the reading scores in particular?
It's had a huge impact. But I think it's not irreversible. We have to adapt and adjust as schools, as parents, to make sure that we are still making the case for the value of reading in a world that is really different than it was 10 or 20 years ago.
4 days a week, students here spend 35 minutes reading outside of English class. That emphasis on literacy has helped raise students' test scores here, Noah says, not only in reading, but also in math and science.
So David Noah recommends parents ask teachers how much time is set aside just for reading during school, and how do teachers know that students aren't being distracted by a device? So at Comp Sci High School, cell phones have actually been banned since the school opened in 2018. David Noah said he understood that instinctively children, because he sees it with adults, right, are going to be distracted if those devices are around.
The good news is the cell phone bans, it seems to be sweeping the country.
Yes.
A lot of districts have it now. There's some recent research finding that when a cell phone is in the classroom and kids have access to it, it's the equivalent of a great teacher becoming mediocre and a mediocre teacher being bad. So it can really change things. We might actually, in these results, be seeing the effects that will correct themselves once these phones are gone.
Yes, and modeling behavior is important also, right? If your children see you and you're not engaged in a conversation or you're not engaged in anything other than a screen, that is something that sends a message to your children.
So is the solution, pull out the books, keep reading to your kids, and keep encouraging them. You know, when I was little, we had the library card. We went to the library, and that was considered fun.
Yes.
So is it something that we need to really say and emphasize to our children?
That's right.
It's important to pull out a book and read.
Right.
Also, as parents, like you said, be a reflection.
A former English teacher going viral after posting a raw and unfiltered farewell video as she leaves the classroom behind after just 3 years. Listen.
A lot of these kids don't know how to read because they have had things read to them, or they can click a button and have something read out loud to them. I just don't think these kids even care. They don't care about making a difference in the world. They don't care about how to have a resume. They don't care how to write a resume. They don't care how to write a cover letter, because ChatGPT will just do it for them. And I think that we need to cut off technology from these kids, probably until they go to college.
Hannah is a former teacher, and she joins us now. She posted that video. More than 1 million people have seen it, Hannah, probably more by the time we're on this morning. Why did you post that video?
So I taught for 3 years, as I said in my video. I wasn't always a teacher. I actually started my career in digital marketing. So I've been in the digital world for about 5 years now, or since I've graduated. And throughout the 3 years, I've taught digital arts classes and I've taught an English class. And I would say that in all of my teaching experience, technology has posed quite a challenge. And with AI becoming so accessible to children nowadays, especially teaching in an English or Core 4 classroom, it's been especially challenging kind of to have the kids comprehend and critical think and think for themselves on certain things.
Yeah.
So on my way out, I wanted to kind of raise awareness and just let people know how AI and technology is affecting their children these days.
Right. I know, coming from a mother who taught for 33 years, my sister's a teacher in South Carolina, the challenges that y'all deal with, this is even before AI was a thing. I'm sure it's even more challenging now. And clearly, your opinion is, yes, it is. You're a high school teacher. I'm sure your students loved you. We hate to see someone leave education because of problems within the classroom. Give me some examples of what the students are saying to you.
Well, a lot of students, and I do want to be clear, I taught a lot of very motivated and bright children. And so I don't want this to come off as if this is all the kids' fault. But I do know that a lot of times in my English classroom, I would ask them to write down a short response or just 5 sentences to answer a question. And a lot of times it would be about 2.5 sentences. And they would say, well, I can't think of anything else to say. Or, well, why do I have to answer in complete sentences? Like, you get the point from what I'm saying in just this little sentence. And then a lot of times I would assign essays, long form essays. And I know how children write, especially when they handwrite me things in the beginning of the school year. And so when a student, how I know how they write typically would give me a very eloquently and thorough essay on a topic that I know that normally wouldn't come from them, I would ask them, was this really you? And I'd run it through an AI generator. And of course it would say 100% ChatGPT or AI. And I would speak to the student and they would more so question of, well, if I have to redo this, how much is it really going to affect my grade? Can I just take the 0?
Gosh, trying to take the easy way out. Yeah.
Right.
Is it promoting just a laziness among our children?
I suppose. And a lot of them are just feeling as though they don't really need to do the work anymore because AI will just do it for them.
Right.
And I think that AI can be in a classroom in a very effective way if we teach children in the older grades how to use it properly. But if we're allowing them this unlimited access in the classroom to use AI, they're not going to do the work themselves.
Yeah, I know you're a proponent of getting technology out of our classrooms, getting the phones out of our classrooms. I still can't believe some schools are allowing that. Thank you so much.
Statewide cell phone ban in schools.
We have heard from several school superintendents in the past couple of months about the plan, but News Channel 9's Ashley Cafaro tells us how some students are reacting now that the bell-to-bell ban is official.
Governor Kathy Hochul is just one step closer to banning cell phones in schools statewide starting in September. It's a bill that has some students fired up, like Aubrey Leeton, a sophomore at C.W. Baker High School.
It's personal property, and it shouldn't really be decided by the state what I do with my phone.
The pending law will restrict cell phone use in K-12 schools throughout the entire school day. But Leeton says there are bigger problems in the school system.
There's a lot of unsafe situations in school, and I think not being able to have a cell phone during those moments is kind of a bigger problem.
Not having direct contact with a parent or guardian is also a big concern for students.
I feel like students should still be able to have it like on them, at least in their bag or something, just so, because, you know, it's hard to get a hold of like your parents and whatnot.
But many students agree smartphones in school are a big distraction.
I think cell phones is, for a lot of people, it's a distraction, and you have to be very mindful. I think it's up to the student to be responsible with your phone if you have it.
Especially in the younger kids this year, I'm noticing a lot of them are antisocial. They just sit on their phone all the time.
Now, Governor Hochul says there will be exemptions in some cases, including for students with certain medical conditions or those who aren't fully fluent in English. in Baldwinsville. Ashley.
Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Talk Williams. I am back. Yes. Here I go. I'm back on the mic. We're about to get to it, but that was a very sad report about the states, the United States, the kids in 12 and under, high school, junior high school, on grade 12 and under, and the report card. You know, we all know that if you're struggling with reading, it shows up in where? In science and in math. Because many times, especially in the case of math, you get these word problems or you get scenarios in math presented to you, and you may get the answer wrong, and it really isn't about your calculation. You can calculate, you can count, you can use the calculator if it's that at that level where they're allowing you to use the calculator. But you get the answer wrong because you may not know what the word means in English. You don't know difference means subtraction. You don't know, like, just, you know, certain things, certain terms. You know the mathematical symbols for them, but you don't necessarily know the English word that represents that. So when you say somebody ran twice as fast and you're trying to determine the difference between that person and the third person over a certain period of time, going a particular direction, mathematically you could work that out. Why? Because, you know, you could use vector analysis, right? Where you have direction, you have mass, and you have some momentum or velocity in that direction. I'm just making this stuff up, but you get what I'm saying, and it's just sad. But now, even when we move beyond grades 12 and under, and we talk about new college graduates, without doubt, if you haven't heard the news, check with your kids that just graduated. It just doesn't look well for them in terms of tech jobs or these other high-paying towards the white collar jobs, right? White collar crime is always available, but the white collar jobs in technology and other spaces like that, and it's tough. In fact, as they say, you can find it anywhere. The unemployment rate for new graduates is higher than the unemployment rate for the country. Theirs is over 6% or close to it, and for the country is over 4%. So it's a lot going on, and it's not a healthy situation for many, right? But what I want to do is jump over, and I know it's been a minute. I want to jump back over to what this live was supposed to be all about, and that's OpenAI's Academy. So in case you guys didn't know, OpenAI, actually, you can go on their site, and there's actually a academy there you can join. Let me just bring up one of the screens. And what motivated me about this was I talked to different people, and they said, you know, some people, they was like, hey, Talk, I don't really use the ChatGPT and the other AI tools because I really don't understand what's going on. And I get it. I get it. So here's a tool. Here's a nice little tool that people can use pretty much to get some literacy, get some awareness, get some know-how about how to use ChatGPT, get some levels of adoption, and maybe identify use cases or some utility about how it can be used for you as a person, and maybe to augment and help you do your work. What I really suggest that people who are knowledge workers, if you work and you know that how you earn your money, your living, is basically your knowledge, you're a knowledge worker. You're part of the knowledge economy. As such, the knowledge economy is the most vulnerable to AI. It just is. You know, I talked about it last night on my other lives. AI is going to come for the low-hanging fruit of the knowledge economy. So if you work a job where you do repetitive tasks over and over again, and in that capacity, they don't require you to be face-to-face, whether it's on a Zoom, whether it's handshaking, hugging, going to meetings, flying to conferences, this, that, or whatever. In other words, if that added value of your human presence isn't coupled with those repetitive tasks that you do, but you're on systems all day, and that's what you kind of do, yeah, you're vulnerable. You're vulnerable. I don't care if it's in legal or law, that domain, health, technology, customer service, accounting, marketing, all of those types of things where a large percentage of what's done is repetitive. Of course, it's not the exact same things. There's some nuances involved, but it just repeats itself. What I suggest that people do is if you're a knowledge worker, you want to explore what AI tools, what systems that your company or organization may be using, and you want to embrace that. And you want to make it known that you're with it. Okay, I'm gonna just throw that at you. Don't be giving off the energy that you're not down with AI. You might not be down with OPP, but you might want to be down with AI. Okay, so one of the cool things now, and it's probably been available for 5 or 6 months, if not a year, but I just stumbled across it, is that Sam Altman's OpenAI, which we call ChatGPT, actually has an academy. It has AI or OpenAI Academy. And what they're going to be rolling out in the next 6 to 8 months, they're going to be rolling out certification programs where you can actually take the training while you're using ChatGPT or OpenAI or some version of it, and you can get certified on your different levels of literacy in terms of its usage, its proper usage. A lot of times, before you even get into all of the many things you can do with any of these bots or large language models or the Geminis, which belongs to Google, the Claude, which belongs to Anthropic, the OpenAI or ChatGPT, which belongs to OpenAI, before you can get into a lot of this, even Elon Musk's XAI, you want to be aware of the trust, the security, as well as privacy. That's really important. So when we talk about trust, security, and privacy, you know, when you talk about people's private information, even yours, do you want your information being used to train some LLM models? When I say LLM, the large language models are the models of the data that's being put into these servers, being put into these neural networks, and they're being trained there. Deep learning, machine learning, the algorithms being produced, and all of that magical stuff that takes place there. So when you hear people reference LLMs, they're doing that because the LLMs, the large language models, are kind of more specific to what it is instead of just saying ChatGPT, which is more of a general term now about all of the bots. Because people can say, oh yeah, the bot or ChatGPT, and they're not even talking about OpenAI's ChatGPT. They're actually talking about Google's, which is Gemini, or Elon Musk, which is XAI. But let me just stop with the word salad. I'm just trying to provide some clarity and not and stay away from complexity. Let's just say that. Anyway, before I actually show the OpenAI Academy, which I'm going to click on next, that dark screen you see above me, that's actually my ChatGPT, okay? And what I wanted to show you guys just real quick is some of the applications that are readily available for you right now to connect to. So like right now, a lot of people, what they typically do is they use ChatGPT, they prompt it, ask it questions, or you want to talk about querying it, which is typically what people do when they're working with Excel or whatever, or they do searches with it, which is typically what people do when they go on a Google or something like that. In fact, you know how everybody used to say, Google it, Google it, Google it, Google it? Not as much now, right? People still say it, but not as much. Anyway, a lot of times we're generating or we're getting some information done in ChatGPT, and then we're doing what's called the copy and paste out to the application that we're using it with, whether that be an email or something like that. That's what we typically do. What I'm going to show you on this screen is here's available applications. Here are some available applications, and all you got to do is connect. And you can work natively, meaning you can work out of ChatGPT, as you see it on my screen, right into those applications and avoid copy and paste. Yeah. Avoid that one more step. Here we go. So if you open up your ChatGPT, mine is open, and by default it shows ChatGPT 5. And if you notice with ChatGPT, you know what? Let me make the screen bigger so y'all can actually see it. Here we go. and I'll just get me out the way. All right, so here it is. I'm just showing you the left side of the screen. Yeah, so you can just get a hunch, get an idea of that. Because I just want to share with you guys that, like, if right now you're doing work from ChatGPT and everything's a copy and paste, it doesn't have to be anymore. And this list is going to get longer, but I just want to show you how to get to it so you can decide which apps that you might just want to decide to work with. So this is just the left side of the screen so I can demo. And like I said, a lot of you guys probably already know this, so ignore me, but you'll be surprised who doesn't, and that this walkthrough just confuses them more or sheds a little more clarity or light, or at least provokes some idea. So you open up your ChatGPT. So I'm going to go down here in the lower left hand where my cursor is right here, where it says Talk Williams, right? Okay. So like I said, if I click on Talk Williams, oops, my fault. Hold on, was that Magic Johnson? Okay, that's fine. All right, so here we go. I click on Talk Williams. You want to go to settings. So I just clicked on my name, or you can click on that little pink thing, whatever that image is. So you want to go, once you get that and you get these choices, you want to go to settings. So I click on settings. Once you get the settings, you're going to get this pop-up. Sometimes it takes a minute. When I say a minute, a few seconds, but you know, we want everything now. I want it now. I'm a little kid with a big tablespoon in my hand, banging on the table. Now. That's because I ain't had no coffee or cereal. But anyway, you're going to get this box that just popped up just now, okay? And in this box on the left side, everything has a left side. You notice that? The panels, the vertical panels, right? You got general, notifications, personalization, connectors, schedules, data controls, security, and account. Go to connectors, because what I'm demonstrating now is how you can see what applications are available for you to just work straight through ChatGPT and not have to do as much copy and paste. All right? If you click on connectors, look at that. I'll do it again. Let me go back to general. That's general. Go to connectors. Look at that. Right here it says connectors. Connect your favorite apps so ChatGPT can access their information based on what you authorize to view, learn more. Here's Box. Here's Canva. Here's Dropbox. Here's GitHub. Here's Gmail. Here's Google Calendar. Here's HubSpot. Here's Google Drive. Google Contacts, Linear, Notion, Outlook Calendar, Microsoft Teams, SharePoint, Outlook Email, and I think there's a couple more. Here goes some advanced settings, right? So here we go. 1, 2, 3 on that side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 on that side. That's 15 apps that all you got to do is click on one of the apps. Like if I wanted to just work through my Gmail without all the copy and pasting, but just work through it directly in terms of posting, reading, or whatever it is, I could just go to my Gmail and click connect. Click that. I didn't click connect. I don't want to make that up. Let's go back. Here's the connectors, because I know I said click connect. That's not true. So let me go back. Here go to 15 apps. I'm gonna use Gmail. Click on the panel. Just click on the panel, and then you'll get this box. Here's the app Gmail. Find and reference emails from your inbox. If I click connect, it's gonna ask me for my password and stuff like that. It's gonna ask me for authorization to allow OpenAI to be connected to my Gmail, and from that point on, it's just on and popping. I can work right from OpenAI and do certain things right in my Gmail. That's it. I'm just letting you know, okay? If I go back, same thing if I click on SharePoint. I clicked on SharePoint, search and pull from SharePoint sites and OneDrive. So when you do it with SharePoint, they're not only going to give you access to SharePoint, they're going to give you access to OneDrive. And it makes sense. You know why? Because OneDrive is SharePoint. SharePoint is OneDrive. They're kind of one and the same, all right? Yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys that, again, it's 15 applications now. Keep this in mind, just FYI, because I know some people saying, yeah, well, I should be able to connect to my Facebook and I should be able to connect to these other things. No, right now you cannot connect directly to your Facebook. You cannot connect directly to TikTok. You cannot connect directly to YouTube and some other platforms. You can use a third-party software like Zapier or something like that. Is it Zapier or Zappa, whatever? And there's other stuff out there. But what you're seeing up on the screen now, it's just native. I'm inside of OpenAI's and ChatGPT, and if I set up those connections, those 15 apps are readily available for me to work straight out of ChatGPT and use them. But anyway, I just want to share that with you guys. I'll close that. And now I want to get over to OpenAI Academy. Here we go. Let me get the screen right so y'all can see the entire screen. Somewhere in here. There we go. And I'll bring that all the way up. Can I? Yep, bring this down. Let's see. All right, so above me, right above me, let me make this screen a little bit smaller because it might be blocked out on your page. So right above me, here we go. OpenAI's Academy. I didn't make that name up even though it sounds slick. In fact, if I zoom in, right there, you see it on the screen. OpenAI's Academy. I would highly suggest that people who want to learn in a more structured, more informed, somewhat technical guidance about typical uses, different domains, meaning areas of profession, how it can be used for kids, just to get some exposure to some of the live streams for ChatGPT or OpenAI, some of the tools and resources, some of the other authors or authorities and professionals in the IT area, in the area of large language models and chatbots and different things like that. OpenAI has what's called, and you see it, OpenAI Academy. You can register, you can set your email up, you can do whatever and get with it. I just got on it today. I think it's been out 6 months, if not a year, but I just got on it today and we haven't missed a lot. I'll just share that with you. We have not missed a lot, okay? So one of the things that you can do is find out about events. Like right now, let me see if I do this. Okay, there we go. These panels right here under events. In other words, on the left-hand side, on the far left, you have home, events, content, communities, what's new, work, education, nonprofits, government, help. If you click on events, it's going to open up this panel and it's going to show all events, upcoming events, now, past events. These are just filters, you know that, right? So my thing is upcoming events, all right? So I'm going to click on upcoming events. There we go. Because I want to see some streams, maybe get in front of some panels and just learn some stuff. And here's one right here, live in one day, introduction to ChatGPT. I understand you're an expert. You don't need it. But you might have a family member, you might have a friend, you might have somebody in the church, you might have somebody at your company, you might have that person that you've been inviting to use ChatGPT because you think that, hey, like mostly everybody, you'll find some use case for it, personally, professionally, or whatever. You'll find some utility for it. It'll save you some time. Maybe you learn something, get a little more informed, but you just haven't been able to break through with them. Maybe invite them to register for OpenAI Academy. And then once they join OpenAI's Academy, they can start registering for events. I'm registering right now in front of you guys for the one that's going to be held tomorrow. It's 11:15 Chicago time. In 45 minutes, it'll be tomorrow. It'll be September the 17th. I'm going to register for the introduction to ChatGPT. Why? I've been using ChatGPT on and off and really excited and interested in it a couple times a week for the last year. And I still don't think that I'm so comfortable that I don't need to look at introduction to ChatGPT. I can do this and I can do that and I can do this and I can do that. Nah. I know how I learn. I am really strong and focused on foundational knowledge, principles, and concepts. And then that becomes my building blocks or my cornerstones for learning about things in any domain. So this introduction to ChatGPT coming at me, being presented through OpenAI's Academy is authority, okay? So I'm going to register. It's tomorrow at 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. It's for an hour, CDT Central Time, which means it's from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern and probably 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on the West Coast. But right there in front of y'all, I'm going to register. That's what I'm going to do. And we're about to see what the registration look like. So in the middle of the screen, look what popped up. This is what popped up. Let me shrink the screen some so y'all can see it. The reason why I'm taking y'all through this is because I know how it is. You go to do something and there's some hiccup in the system and you're there in a vacuum, nobody's around, there's really nobody to call, and you're thinking, I'm stuck. I'll forget this. I'll get the next one, or I'll whatever, right? I understand that. I do. And that's why people have to get, it's like some of y'all might be like, when y'all see this video, whether it's tonight or tomorrow, whenever, you say, man, why don't you just shut the hell up and show us what to do? Yeah, it's not for the shut the hell up and show you what to do. It's for the person that won't come back or feel defeated because something as small as that just nags at them, and then they get pulled to something else, and all of a sudden it's too laborious. So I'll do that again. All I did was click register, and look what it says. Registration successful. I didn't fill anything out. I just clicked register. That's it. I could add this to a calendar. Yep. I could add this to a calendar. By joining this event, you agree to community code of conduct. Let's see what the code of conduct is. What they talking about? You need permissions to access this published document. Okay, that's cool. So I need to log in like a Google Docs. Because obviously, I mean, what I'm thinking is the code of conduct is on the Google Docs. So I don't have Google Docs, but it's fine. Either way, you see it right there on the screen. This event, this live stream, I registered successfully, and it happens in 0 days, 12 hours, 40 minutes, and 41 seconds. Introduction to ChatGPT. Okay, so I'm going to X out of that. I just clicked the X. When I clicked the X, it took me to this page. Hang on, I'm going to let you see it. Yeah, it took me to this page. Let me bring it in. So I haven't left. I'm not outside of ChatGPT yet. I'm still within the app. So it brought me here. And this page basically shows the introduction to ChatGPT. It is showing the time of the class again. It's telling me it's going to be live stream. And then underneath, they go into this, it's a hashtag, and it says foundational literacy. And then it says, join Lewis Newman for an introduction to ChatGPT designed for beginners. Only a free ChatGPT account is required to follow along. Afterwards, OpenAI Solutions Engineer Lauren Oliphant will join the OpenAI Academy team for live Q&A to answer your questions. That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Free account can attend. It's going to be a live event. They go on live, stream live. And afterwards, we got solution engineers. One in particular, engineer Lauren Oliphant, will join the OpenAI Academy team. So it's going to be a team to do a Q&A to our questions. Here go the speakers right here. Speakers. Lois, since I see as a woman, I said Lois. Lois Newman, Customer Enable OpenAI, and Lauren Oliphant, Solutions Engineer AI. Now, let me tell you how my mind works already. Let me tell you how my mind works. The way my mind works is now I'm thinking like just real quick. Once I become really proficient and literate, aware, understand adoption, I would like to host some ChatGPT or some introduction to ChatGPT. I would like to host it. So in my mind, I'm already thinking to pay attention to this model. Okay? We got registration. We got speakers. We got a summary of what they're going to be talking about. We got people that's going to be there after the live to answer questions, Q&A. And we have authorities, SMEs. You know what a SME is? SME, subject matter. Hold up. Experts. The E is experts. Yeah, that's the SME. So what I'm thinking now is, hey, maybe, it's like TEDx. You could do your own TED Talks. You can get authorization to hold a local TED Talk. You can. Yep. So maybe there's a way for me following their model, maybe based on information that they use, getting authorization from them, for me to give a forum or a live. I could do it anyway, period, on my YouTube channel. But I'm just talking about something more official, something more authorized, something that has the oomph of an OpenAI behind it, or Sam Altman, or these engineers like Lois Newman, Customer Enable at OpenAI, and Lauren Oliphant, Solutions Engineer. I know I'm just talking out of my head. I'm just letting you know how my thinking goes. That's just how my thinking goes. So we can go back to events. When we go back to events, what do we see? We're back to the page events, and we see some other panels or squares or cards you can click on because I have it on all. I could have just put it on upcoming. And so let's see. So now there's another one coming up in 7 days. Scaling enterprise AI through systems thinking. And then it has deep station right there. Let me zero in on that a little bit so you guys can see. Yeah, this is the so you see it right here, right? There it is, that second panel. It's the one in the middle, live in 7 days. So on September the 23rd, it's going to be another live stream. And you see the name of it, Scaling Enterprise AI Through Systems Thinking. I'm going to click on it because I want to see what it's about. So we click on it. And, of course, it takes us to this page. And it says Scaling Enterprise AI Through System Thinking. Let's see what it's talking about. And it says, presented by Deep Station in partnership with Miami-Dade College for Community Outreach and Engagement. This resource is produced by Deep Station. We need to do research on Deep Station. A trusted partner in AI education. Wow, okay. While OpenAI Academy shares it here, it does not necessarily represent OpenAI's own views. So what this is kind of telling me, and this is good, this is actually good, is that this is another company. This is Deep Station. And they're involved with AI education, but it's not OpenAI's property. They don't own the company. But OpenAI is authorizing them to present, which is wonderful because that's what I was just thinking about. How can I be in the position where I could teach introduction to ChatGPT or ChatGPT literacy or chatbot literacy or any foundational type of knowledge or information services just to assist people to become aware, literate, and maybe identify or adopt through identifying use cases or utility for it. And that's what Deep Station is. They're authorized by OpenAI to present through their OpenAI Academy, but the disclaimer is there. It does not necessarily represent OpenAI's own views. That's fine, because that's what I was looking for. Then it goes to say that this workshop will explore agentic AI ops, architectures that can be harnessed to transform business operations by applying first principles of system thinking. First principles of systems thinking. We'll walk through how talent density, focusing small, high-leverage teams, enables a human AI synthesis with orchestration of agents. I heard some people, well, don't worry about that word, not headcount growth, and it drives exponential impact. We'll demonstrate new frameworks for modeling operational complexity as dynamic feedback loops, then encode those loops into AI-driven orchestration frameworks that continuously learn and improve across business domains. It also goes to say that through live coding and architectural walkthroughs, we'll build from scratch an AI ops pipeline that integrates tactical agents, strategic meta agents, and human oversight in a resilient learning organization. The objective of this webinar is to provide a hands-on exposure to designing feedback-driven automation, embedding AI into enterprise workflows, and aligning systems thinking with modern DevOps /ML. I'm thinking ML means machine learning, engineering practice. By the end, engineers will not only understand the principles of scaling with AI in large enterprise and startups, but also leave with a replicable playbook to transform their own companies into high-density, AI-native organizations. So this sounds like, let's talk about the speakers, for example. So the speakers are Grant Kurtz, CEO at Deep Station, and Maj Saeed, Agentic AI, Core Operations, Strategy, and Transformational, probably engineer, because it's 3 dots, so it's more to it. This sounds like enterprise level, big company stuff. How you bring AI in there, deploy it at the DevOps level, how you can use it, how you can build it, how you can put it in a position so it can learn the company, learn what you do. Because all of the technical stuff is referencing is kind of what you do in the infrastructural and environment of enterprise level companies. You know, you're going to have workflows, you're going to have database or back end stuff, you're going to feed it, you're going to do some machine learning or deep learning, you're going to do some not only development or deployment, but you're also going to incorporate that with operations, and it's all going to be AI. So that's probably some high-level stuff, but it's cool because it's presented by Deep Station, the CEO and probably the engineer, in partnership with Miami-Dade College for community outreach and engagement. I'm registering. I'm in. So I'm going to click register, and let's see what happens. Ding, ding, ding. The same thing that happened before, and that was registration success, scaling enterprise AI through system thinking. Okay, I wouldn't suggest that the person that's just on the fence about even touching AI, or in the case of ChatGPT, take this. This is more like for people who are either into technology, want to know more about technology beyond what's at home and what's at Starbucks and what's at your church, and you want to think, how is this done on the enterprise level? How is it done like on the big boy sheet? You want to kind of look at this. You want to kind of look at how they connecting the dots and breathing that life in. So when you see those people getting off the trains and crossing the streets and piling up and going into those buildings in your city and all of that, yeah, they didn't handle this already. So those people can do that. So let me X out of this. I think it was one more I wanted to look at. Let me jump back to events. And this third one, which I think is very interesting, is ChatGPT strategies for educators. I think that's dope. I think this would be great for not only teachers, I think this would be great for anybody that does homeschooling, things like that. I think this is great for people for after school programs. I think this is great for educators, period, okay? It actually says this will be a live stream, and the target is K through 12 education. So I think is great. Let's click on it and see what they talking about, who they talking about, what would be covered. Let's do that. Okay. So let me go here. Hang on. There we go, right there. All right. So let's see what they say. This is in 9 days, 14 hours, 28 minutes. This is on September the 26th. It's an hour-long live stream. Again, the target audience for this is educators between K through 12. Okay. And it goes to say ChatGPT strategies for educators is an interactive session. That's cool. It's interactive. That's dope. It's an interactive session designed to help teachers harness AI and the tools to enhance learning and classroom engagement. Yeah. So it's going to teach the teachers or educators. Here goes some AI tools, and you can enhance the kids' learnings and in the classroom environment with the engagement as such. That's needed. I think that's super cool. And you can't have enough of it. The speaker is Sam Canning Kaplan. Sam Canning Kaplan. That's what it says. Yep. And he's a K through 12 GTM lead at OpenAI. So he must work for OpenAI. Again, what is it going to teach? What is it going to demonstrate? What is the live stream about? ChatGPT Strategies for Educators is an interactive session, so it might ask for you to do some stuff, designed to help teachers harness AI tools to enhance learning and classroom engagement. Educators will leave with hands-on techniques to save time, personalize instruction, and inspire student creativity. Join us to discover how ChatGPT can become a powerful partner in teaching and learning. I always get very interested and excited for the kids when they bring in the AI into the classroom, because this idea of no just doesn't, it's not going to work. Anyway, I'm going to register. Let's see what happens. You click register and bing, success. That's the 26th. So I've registered for 3 events. They're all free. The registration was simple. They're covering different areas. One is the introduction to ChatGPT, the intro. I think everybody should take that. The next one was more on an enterprise level or business level about infrastructure, workflows, all types of machine learning, more DevOps stuff, so more engineer related, closer to the engineers in the company that's making everything happen. Yep. And then this last one, ChatGPT strategies for educators, K through 12. So I think those 3, that's a wide area. You're going from the novice, the civilian, you're going to people who went to school, have knowledge about technology, into the enterprise environment in these companies, and then we're getting back out to the educators. My plate is full. My month is full for these events. Again, guys, I highly recommend come over there to OpenAI's Academy, and if there's some things that you miss or some other subject matter that you want to see, all you have to do is click on the events on the left-hand side and just start scrolling down, and you'll see a history of other live streams and other resources and tools that they've offered and had since it's been up, since this academy has been available. So this is pretty cool because you have all types of different stuff. AI for nonprofits, Sprint 101, advanced features for nonprofits, OpenAI Academy, future skill for India. Wow, so they're on an international level too. I'll also say this, excuse me, I think I mentioned it earlier, I'll just throw this in here now. OpenAI will be rolling out a series of certifications in the next 6 to 8 months. So what it's basically going to do is certify people probably on their literacy, somewhat on their competency of different AI or tools. So you can have something documented way beyond saying I know how to use this or sometime I use it for that. And, you know, once you establish some reasonable level of competency and use, that'll let future employers know that you are AI aware. You're familiar with the tools, you know, you've embraced it. It's not a mystique to you. You're trainable if they're using something, different things like that. In fact, they went on to say that right now, OpenAI has partnership with Walmart where they're training or making available for a mass number, the masses of their employees to scale up or level up in their skill set with the use of ChatGPT and OpenAI. More specifically for some tasks and some duties within Walmart. So anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap that up right there. I just want y'all to know, become aware, become literate, and hopefully identify some use case or utility and initiate or get some adoption going. Again, if you're a knowledge worker, I can't stress it to you enough. I cannot stress it to you enough. Don't play yourself by the water fountain on the elevator out front taking the smoke break about this AI stuff. Don't make no sense because all you're doing is echoing to your direct report that you no longer want to work at that company. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to leave it there. And fortunately, I can play a track from one of my artists. Yeah, I got generative artists. I do. And I can play a track from them. This one is called, and it's all AI. AI is coming for your job. AI is there to take your job. It almost sounds like, not Nicki Minaj, but it almost, well, let's see. Let me see. Like a Cardi B-ish type. Let's see if it sounds like a little bit of Cardi B, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Where is that? No?
I draw jewels like circuits, this is why I tight. Algorithms are quick to take the jobs overnight. Management smiling and cutting over costs. The workforce crying of the paycheck loss. I analyze patterns and shift in demand. Machines clock in, no sweat on their hand. From the factory floor, the newsroom, the AI spitting copy clean that is obsolete. AI taking your job. Better set or stay sharp. AI taking your job. Gotta hustle, play smart. AI taking your job. Don't get left in the dark. AI's taking your job. Time to build, leave a mark.
That's not it either. I don't know what I did with it. I apologize. But I can go right to, that way y'all can see the studio. Oh, this is it. This is it. This is it.
Human intuition, AI run the stats, see the numbers on the screen, but it's me who bring the feel. Keep the judgment in the loop, keep the hustle in the real. Automation on the rise, whole world on the edge. Fly adapt with the grind, I ain't falling off the ledge. I've been fighting to assist until surviving out the truth. This is hope, this is soul, this is human in the loop. We never gonna lose. Stay sharp, pay dues. With the crew. Shorties working doubles just to eat. Now they talk about replacing every work in the street. But the code's still blind, need a mind to oversee. With the context in the frame, that's forever gotta be me. Lawyers off instructors, whole system getting shook. Put the loophole strong when the humans still look. AI in the pattern, but I call the final shot. It's a fight in the heart that the algorithm not. We ain't never gonna lose. Yeah, this machine, that's a move. Say sharp in your dose. You within the loop with the crew. We ain't never gonna lose. Yeah, this machine, that's a move. Stay sharp in your dose. You within the loop with the crew. So the blind stay learning, evolve with the code. Adapt in the moment, let the future unload. Every challenge in the way.
All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. And like I say, you know, check out OpenAI's Academy, man. If it's, you know what's crazy? Like, and I say crazy in a good way in this case. It's unfortunate for so many people that are going to lose their jobs and be disrupted in the workplace and other things because of, you know, it's right here. It's right now, right? The other part, though, is we can see under the hood right now. That's the other part. So this is a time for people to look at opportunities where you see under the hood what's going on. You see this evolution. You see it. You see it. And we're always in a better position to make decisions and make moves when we can see a thing. Yeah. 5 or 10 years from now, unless you do have some type of specialized degree or something like that, you're not even going to be as interested in looking at what's under the hood because all of the damage and all of the impact and a lot of the transformation, it's just going to be done. And I'm not saying whether that's a good or bad thing. I'm just saying you can see more than you want right now if you want to see more than there is. I'll just leave it at that, as confusing as this sounds.